Suppose someone invented a pill that let you live to the age of 120 in perfect health and then die painlessly. That pill would put a lot of people out of business. It would be bad news for doctors and nurses. It would be catastrophic for medical insurers. It would throw millions of home care staff out of work. But would anyone see those as good reasons to ban it? And would anyone care where the pill had been invented? In their country or someone else's? What goes for that pill goes for any other product that would improve our lives. We shouldn't make things harder to obtain simply on the grounds that they originate somewhere else. Actually, a lot of people disagree with that idea. Opponents of free trade, and there are many, say things that sound perfectly reasonable. Things like, we need to protect our strategic industries. We can't survive these expanding trade deficits. We must grow our own food. We want trade to be fair. We can't compete with slave wage economies. All those arguments sound like common sense, but all of them would ban our miracle pill. All of them would leave us poorer. Let's take them in order. Protectionism. Trade barriers don't protect industries. They make them inefficient, uncompetitive, and dependent on state handouts. As Ronald Reagan put it, instead of protectionism, we should call it destructionism. It destroys jobs, weakens our industries, harms exports, costs billions of dollars to consumers, and damages our overall economy. Trade deficits? There's no correlation between a country's balance of trade and its economic growth. The greatest benefit of trade is cheaper imports, because they save consumers money that then gets spent on other stuff, which is what drives growth. If, say, China wants to subsidize its steel production, that's a gift to our construction workers, our car makers, and our consumers, courtesy of the Chinese state. Growing your own food? You know which country leads the world in that? North Korea. It has made self-sufficiency, Ju-che, its ruling principle. Yep, that's North Korea, the world's leader in man-made famines. The way to have secure food, or secure anything, is to source it from the widest possible variety of suppliers. That way you're not at risk from a shock or disruption, which might as easily happen in your own country as anywhere else. Fair trade? The only thing that's fair is not putting the government's thumb on the scales. Protectionism, by definition, privileges some politically connected lobby over the general population. The way to protect our industries is to make them more competitive. And you do that by lowering taxes and cutting regulations. Competing with lower wage economies? That's what makes poor countries richer and makes rich countries richer. Lower wages let developing nations compete and let wealthier countries focus on higher skilled, higher paying jobs. The iPhone is assembled in China, but the design and profits are in the USA. Look at the global impact. As recently as 1981, 40% of the world's population lived in extreme poverty. Today, it's 8%. 300 people have escaped extreme poverty since you clicked on this video. That's 300 new arguments for free trade. So, why doesn't everyone get it? The answer lies in our psychology. We didn't evolve in this world of superabundance. In our genes, we're still on the savannas of Pleistocene Africa. We feel uncomfortable if we don't have a stash of food at hand to get us through the winter. Depending on strangers to supply us with stuff we can't see just feels wrong. It is literally counterintuitive. It runs up against instincts and intuitions buried deep in our DNA. Free trade, one of the greatest blessings which a government can confer on a people, is in almost every country unpopular. So wrote the poet, historian and Whig politician Lord Macaulay in 1824. It was true then, and it has not stopped being true in the intervening 200 years, though those years have seen our species move from the lowest barbarism to the highest opulence. Our primitive intuitions, our gut feelings, make us surprisingly impervious to evidence. But human beings are blessed with rationality, and we should use it. So let's say it out loud. Free trade is the supreme instrument of poverty alleviation, and the more prosperous a society is, the likelier it is to be more equal, more peaceful, and more concerned with the rights of the individual. If you want to sell me something, and I want to buy it from you, the government had better have a good reason to come between us. Me living in a different country? That's no reason at all. I'm Daniel Hannan, President of the Institute for Free Trade for Prager University. Thank you for watching this video. To keep PragerU videos free, please consider making a tax-deductible donation.